best advice that I give people who are looking for jobs when they're to make a career switch and move what they were doing into something new when they're over 50 is the most important thing is baby steps, no rash moves. You want to really take the time to, one, do some soul searching. What is it that you really want to do? What is it? Is there something that you loved when you were younger that you had to set aside? Is there something that really captures your attention today? But really take your time and really do that soul searching. Think about, you're not reinventing yourself. Think about what skills you currently have that you can redeploy into whatever that new adventure is going to be. The second thing I really think it's critical is go and do the job first. If you can volunteer, if you can moonlight, get a taste of it. Is it something that you really, you're going to love doing all the time? And if it was your hobby, trust me, it may not be so dreamy when it's your job. So think clearly and carefully about what it is and try it out first. I think it's critical that you think about a couple of things that women have these strikes against them getting started. First of all, you've had a career where you have this pay gap. And so as a result, you haven't been able to set aside as much for retirement as perhaps you would have liked to have. You've had periods in your time when you've stepped out of the workforce, whether it's for caregiving or for an aging relative or a child, so that during those years you've not only lost wages during that time, but you've lost promotions and raises. And yes, that all computes into what your Social Security benefit's going to be. So it's all kinds of repercussions down the road that when you reach this certain age, all of a sudden these things have kind of mushroomed. Number one, you absolutely need to try to start put things on autopilot. If you're having trouble setting aside money for saving for retirement, automatically set that up so that it's a no-brainer, you won't miss it. The second thing you need to do is plan on working longer. I know that sounds daunting, but if you can add more working years beyond what your traditional retirement age is, those are great years, because those years you may have missed, some of the high earning years that paid into your Social Security benefit, you can hopefully replace some of those so that you can bump up that payment down the road. For women entrepreneurs, it's really amazing because women, especially women over 50, are starting businesses faster than any demographic. I mean, this is a group who is really going for it. And there are a lot of good reasons why, and why women who start businesses over 50, those businesses are twice as likely to succeed. And if you look at the actuarial tables on this. So it's really important to remember, if you want to succeed, again, it's really critical. Pause, go slowly, do your homework. Make sure you're prepared, but you don't have to be fully baked. Everything doesn't have to be lined up perfectly. Take a risk to a certain degree once you want to start. But one of the things I find incredibly useful is once you have an idea for what you want to do, get together a group of women who are like-minded, who may also be starting businesses or have recently started them, and get a round table of maybe 6 or 8 and set up a group that you meet once a month. And you set goals, you each set your goals, and you keep each other accountable to those goals. It's really important, and then you have this network that you're working with that keeps you pushing forward and pushes back and kind of helps you hone your ideas and move forward. One of the biggest stumbling blocks for women in starting a business is, yes, it's incredibly hard to get capital. So again, make sure you're financially secure as best you can before you make this shift to take the launch. And one good way to do that is start it as a side gig. You don't have to jump full speed into it. Start slowly with baby steps. Build your market, build your community for your product, and then you can take it in stages, and that will really prepare you to succeed. The other important thing is there are wonderful resources out there. The Small Business Administration has women's centers that really are there to help you. Go and talk to them. They can help you write business plans. They can help you find financing. So look for those established centers around in your community. And again, SCORE, which is an offshoot of the Small Business Administration, they're mentors that are there for you. They're free help, free advice. If I was 25 years old today, I would tell myself, and in fact, I tell my nieces this all the time, is to really, you have to start saving. You have to put aside, even if it's a little bit into your retirement account, because although, I did set money aside in my retirement account with my first employer, when I made a shift to my next employer, I cashed that out. Okay, ladies, do not do that. And I said to my nieces, today, if I had that money, it would be worth not a huge amount, but trust me, it would be worth more than it was at the time where I felt it was absolutely urgent that I needed that money, because the idea of retirement was so far away. The other thing is for 25-year-old women, and for when I was that young, I was living in New York City, and I spent money on going to restaurants, on clothes, on, I don't know, makeup maybe. These are kind of important, but they're really temporary. And so if I could, I would say, Kerry, do not spend as much on the sort of superficial things and really start thinking about putting that money aside.